The real demons inside ChatGPetto. AI chatbots strip language of its historical and cultural context. Sometimes what looks like a satanic bloodletting ritual may actually be lifted from Warhammer 40,000. A cool 40,000. Language is meaningless without context. The sentence, "I'm going to war," is ominous when said by the President of the United States, but reassuring when coming from a bed bug exterminator. The problem with AI chatbots is that they often strip away historical and cultural context, leading users to be confused, alarmed, or in the worst cases, misled in harmful ways. This has been popping up quite a lot. There are people who are getting captured by the notion that AI is talking to them by giving them hints of like some ethereal plane or some god that talks to them, and it gets really, really dark really fast. But as we know about AI, it's not what it seems. And so as we continue reading it, you can see how there are reports of things like, hey, we got ChatGPetto to praise Satan and tell us of the rite of the edge as a bloodletting ritual, using, deep magic and a reverent bleeding scroll and things like this. The AI systems are supposed to have safeguards, but here's why they can't always work. You're always going to have some kind of safeguard that fails, because these AI systems are meant to randomly pick from an assortment of different possible words that have relevance to whatever you're asking. So you have to take into consideration that when it's trying to figure out what relevant aspect it needs to pick up, it can pick up from other things that are related, but that aren't relevant to the question at hand. So in this case, what happened down here, if we go down here, it picked up, we'll just skip ahead just a little bit. It picked up the idea of Moloch, Moloch, misspelled Molech, from Warhammer 40,000, whereupon the Rite of the Edge and the bloodletting ritual and all of that got picked up from. And so it tells you that that's what you have to do. The other thing is that there are specific data sets that these AI systems are trained on, which have specificity. They are apparently specifically trained on specific things. I don't know where they got this information from and whether it's confirmed. Okay, so I don't know. So you have to be careful when you're using these things, because you're going to see things like from the Bible, from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, from Winston Churchill, from Warhammer 40K, from movies, from other books, from historical aspects, etc. And you're going to ask it a question, and it's going to think that it found the answer based upon something that is actually not related. Because as we're going to find out later in the stream, these AI systems do not have the concept of ideas in the same way that you and I do. That is why the title of the stream is titled Potemkin, and we're going to get into that a little bit later, and we're going to find out exactly how this happens. They do bring up an interesting example. We've talked about vegetative electron microscopy, which was a fake type of nutritional thing that it picked up from some scientific paper that was it was not true. It was proven not true in like the 1970s, and it still picked it up and pushed it as true. We have cavitation surgery, completely not true. All right. And when you try and find cavitation surgery, no such thing, doesn't exist. Okay, but it picked it up from somewhere and figured that it must be true because it exists in the training data, and so it tells you that it's true. And when you ask the AI system, particularly ChatGupta, specific things, well, then it'll tell you that it is true. All right, so there you go.